would you do that, Les Brown? See, when I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. I failed again when I was in the 8th grade.
Connecting increases your influence in every situation. For the foundation of the teaching today, I want to make sure that we really have a grasp of why connecting with people is so vital.
But I told myself, today, your father is not in your life but one day. And so every single day when I wake up homeless, one day. Every single day when I woke up in that abandoned building, one day.
What's going to happen next? There will come a time when you leave this world and they're going to put you in that hole. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? No one is going to jump in that hole with you. No one is going to jump in there with you and celebrate that death that you just experienced. Yes, I know it may sound a little harsh. In fact, it may even scare you. But you can't fake this. You can't hide from this. Life is short, and the only thing that's beautiful about it is that when you are living, you have strong possibilities. You have something that you can be doing to make it impactful for others, to see you can't stop. You can't stop living. You can't stop growing. You can't stop fighting.
I have no college training, and a man changed my life, and I'll never forget his name, Mr. Leroy Washington. He's in his 80s now, and he's blind from glaucoma, but he gave me a different vision of myself. I was in his class waiting on another student. He came in and said, "Young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me." I said, "Oh, sir, I can't do that." I said, "Why not?" I said, I'm not one of your students." He said, "Look at me." "Yes, sir. Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow." I said, "Sir, I can't do that." He said, "Why?" I said, "Sir, because I'm educable mentally retarded, sir. I'm in special education." And the students started laughing. They said, "That's Leslie. That's not Wesley. He's DT. Wesley is the smart twin." He said, "What does DT stand for?" I said, I'm the dumb twin, sir." And as the students laughed at me, he came from behind his desk, he looked at me and he said, "Don't you ever say that again."
So if you'll go to the very first sentence in your notes, the number one criteria for advancement and promotion for professionals is an ability to communicate effectively. That I do believe. I think the ability to connect and communicate is the number one criteria for success with your family, with your marriage, with your children, with your friends, in the workplace, the marketplace, in the community. If you have the ability to connect with people, if you can communicate and connect, not just communicate, it takes you and literally gives you and I a decided edge over others in the advancement of what we're trying to accomplish. For example, in your notes, presidential historian Robert Dallek says that successful presidents exhibit 5 skills and qualities that enable them to achieve things that others don't.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. On one hand, I was humiliated, but on the other hand, I was liberated, because he looked at me with the eyes of Goethe, who said, "Look at a man the way that he is, he only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be, then he becomes what he should be." And so we developed a relationship. And one of the things that I can just tell you as you think about your goals and dreams, all of us can say in a spirit of integrity that it's possible. That if anybody at any point in time lived their dream, then it's possible that I can live mine. And what I did was, I made a mistake. I looked at my goals and dreams, and my mind said, "How will you do that?" I went from my heart to my mind, and I stayed up there for 14 years. 14 years. I can't bring those 14 years back. Those years are gone.
So he's talking about leaders and presidents and people. What makes some achieve better than others? Here's the 5 things they do well. Number 1 is vision. Number 2, pragmatism. Number 3, consensus building. The ability to put together a team and get consensus. Number 4, charisma. And number 5, trustworthiness. Being a trustworthy kind of a person. Now, what is interesting about these 5 things that set the better presidents apart from maybe the average ones, 4 of the 5 deal with connecting. Vision is definitely a connecting skill, the ability to cast a future vision. Consensus building, getting people to work together.
There's power in your voice. You have to commit to everything that you do. Don't stop now. Don't give up on now. Keep it moving. Take control of your life, believe in yourself. But make no mistake, you are worthy. Every day is a new day and another opportunity that others may not have. There could be no excuses. Many things will come at you. There are going to be times that you're going to want to give up, but you don't have the permission to do it.
One day is going to be E.T.'s day, but that day can't come if I give up today. So every single day when I woke up, I kept telling myself, today might not be the day, but soon it will be my day, and I will recycle my pain. What will you do with your pain? Will you let it break you, or will you let it redefine you? I outlasted the pain. I outlasted the pain.
Life is so unfair, and you don't have enough to deal with everything you got to deal with. The assault of the haters becomes so overwhelming in your heart because you don't understand why people could.
Remember the losses. Remember the victims, and understand that everything that you went through in your life, it had to be this way. You may question it, but it had to be this way. You may not even understand it, but it had to be this way, even with the mistakes that you've made in your life. Yet it had to be this way. But the mistakes that you have made, you've learned, you've grown, and you've understood that you don't need to go back to that mistake again. And yes, sometimes you may make the same mistakes, but those mistakes can be even more crucial in your life. And this is why you must continue to push forward and get rid of the things that are not making you better.
Excited to do, and the rest of it is all the dismal, dumb stuff that we all have to do in order to survive. Just crazy stuff that we're doing. Wonder what would happen if we would go from doing 80% of things that are busy but not effective, and 20% of the things that are really effective, if we would switch those numbers around and only give 20% of our time to the things that we have to do and 80% of our time to the thing that we were created to do. Wonder what would happen to your life. Now think about it a minute. There's a lot of things you could take from me and I could make it. You could take my suit, I got another one. You could take my car, I could get another one. You could take my house, I could get another house. But when you take my time, you have taken something from me that is totally irreplaceable. We take all kind of classes from money management. We know how to manage our money. We know how to repair our houses. We're working on our hair and our bodies and all of this kind of stuff. We do everything except the most important thing is to value our time. Hate on you and attack you. Don't they see that behind the scenes somewhere you are being punched? Why are we so wise with other people's dilemmas and such a fool with our own? Trying to get you to understand how life balances itself and how no one gets everything and no one is exempt from pain, so that we can fill in whatever you need to fill in, so that you can recognize that all of us have something different. Punches us.
Let weakness do what it does, and then turn it up and show out, and from the bottom of my heart conduct your business. I will not quit. I will not fail and give in to certain circumstances. That doesn't give me enough ammunition to carry on. You have got to have the strongest mindset ever when quit starts to show up in your life. There are going to be certain things that you're going to have to endure in your life, and sometimes failing is going to be one of them. Not everything is going to be easy for you, in fact. You do not want the word easy to even exist in your life. You have to understand the simple fact that this is just the way life is,